Today, we're all first class. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Presented by Progressive Insurance. Alan Hahn back with the guys. We are brought to you by Straight Talk. Get your $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk Wireless. Good morning, boys.
I don't even smile to stuff like that.
What do you mean?
You know that, right?
What do you mean?
Because
You
it
don't
makes
smile
it
to
sound like I don't sit in anything but first class and you guys go straight to coach. Like, give me a break. Come on.
I mean, you sit in things different than first class. I mean, that's.
Come on, man. Like seriously,
You
Jay,
at least pay
you can't
extra for exit
possibly-
row.
You
At
can't
least.
possibly tell me that on your excursion over the last week that you didn't sit in a plush seat that got you to and from where you needed to go. You can't tell me that, Jay. Just impossible. And Alan Hahn.
Economy,
You
and we
can't
sat in the airport for
possibly
hours.
tell me. Well, that's your fault.
Pilot delays. I know it's actually a world thing going on right now, but you know.
That's your fault, not mine.
Thanks for that anxiety as I get ready to fly tomorrow.
Exactly.
Appreciate that.
Make sure you get there early so you can be delayed 9 hours, guys.
Oh,
It's
great.
worth
Well,
it.
it'd be if you pulled
I'll
out
get there
your
earlier than I
American
get to
Express
work.
card, Jay, and went into the lounge, you'll be okay.
Yeah, the lounge is no longer the lounge, Key. The lounge doesn't work anymore. The lounges are packed ever since the pandemic. It doesn't. There's no exclusivity at the lounge. It's a
Jay,
hoax.
Yeah, you have the worst travel experience ever.
Well, it's that
Key,
time
don't
of year,
worry about
isn't it?
how I travel.
It's that time of year. Everybody's
You know.
traveling now and going to be
It's
experiencing all this
summertime,
stuff.
man.
Yeah.
Summer, baby.
Yeah,
Or as Evan would say, SBE, Summer Book Energy. Let's go.
you gotta start to plan ahead, so to speak, Jay, so you don't have those issues in the future when you're traveling. You could just pull right up to the tarmac and do what you do.
Yeah, but Key, so speaking of scheduling, I'm just, it's hard. I don't know how you do. You schedule like 7 months out. Like, is that you
do.
or is that your wife?
No.
Is that Jen?
No,
that's
it's totally
not
me.
you. Really?
No, 100%.
7 months. I can't. I'm not.
Wait, though, Jay, you're gonna scream at me, and you think I'm lying? Ask Justin. I just the other day scheduled spring break 2023.
What are you doing? Why are you? And he's like, oh, I need your summer. I need your spring schedule. I'm like, I'm thinking about July.
Yeah, I'm already in April of 23, man. And thinking about summer of 23 and Christmas 23.
I can't. See, Han, this is what I have to deal with.
I wish
Hey,
I
man,
could.
if
I
you-
wish I was that comfortable in life that I could look ahead that far and believe that, you know what, then I'm going to do that. I have no idea where I'm going to be. Look, I'm here with you guys again. How did that happen? I mean,
Yeah, well,
every time I think I'm out, you guys
We
pull
bring
me
you
back
right
in.
back. Yeah.
And you know what? Let me
You
pull
love
you
it.
into.
You gotta learn how to plan ahead, though. All you guys, just gotta prioritize things in your life and plan ahead, man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just too many emails, Key. And then when I see like all the CCs on the email, I'm like, why do you guys CC 9,000 people and let everybody know what? Why? Why are you bringing 9,000 other people into my business? Just like email me directly, please. Anyway, that's a different
but you-
conversation.
But for some of us, this is too busy a time of year to be getting away or doing anything. And that's, for me, it's because it's NBA free agency. And for me, this is the time of year that there's, as I mentioned, there's always hope. There's always, the stories about what's going to happen next. It's too early, Jay. It's too early yet.
No. Keep being
too early.
optimistic. Keep being
I'm
optimistic.
trying. I am trying real hard, okay? But what about optimism in Philadelphia? We've got a couple of players right now that have opted out of their contract. As we talked about, so, Russell Westbrook opts in. That was pretty much a given. But James Harden declined his option with the Sixers, $47 million. And also Bradley Beal declined his option at $36 million with the Wizards. Where these guys go from here, or what they do even if they stay, is something that is very interesting. James Harden, especially in Philadelphia, remember, as we know, the Sixers made the move to get him. They bring him in. Now, it fell flat during the playoffs, and there was some concern about him and how much we all talked about it, how much do you want to commit to him and what do you want to do? So he opts out, and as we talked with Brian Windhorst late in yesterday's show, he kind of explained how things could set up for Harden in Philadelphia.
If James Harden opts out of his contract and is willing to take a pay cut off that $47 million and then create a new contract that guarantees him a lot, probably over $100 million, but sort of moderates that salary down, he could open the space to sign PJ Tucker or another high-level role player.
That would be a really interesting move for him that we would not expect, a guy that would take less. What do you guys think of that and the idea of him doing that? What would that mean for, I guess, his commitment to the Sixers? Could that change how he's viewed in Philadelphia?
You know, Key, I really love this subject, and I want to say a couple of things about this. You and I are always very direct about how we feel about athletes, and we give you a true depiction of what we see at that time. If we think somebody's selfish, we'll say it. If we think somebody's not selfish, we'll say it. I just want to dispel a couple of narratives here about James Harden. Number one, he's all about the money. Okay, is he? Because he turned down $50 million a year in Houston. He turned down a $200 million deal with the Brooklyn Nets. He just turned down to opt in for more money. Dispelled, okay? Well, it's all about the lifestyle. No, it's about the lifestyle. It's a video, but I get that the last couple years he didn't want to be in Houston. But the Brooklyn situation was interesting, Alan, because, you know, when they decided to bring Kyrie Irving back to the table, they had the third best record in the league. They were number one in the East. And then, granted, they were losing people like Flyers, but their record started to go the other way. I think the Brooklyn situation was something different than what James expected. I think James expected that this was KD's team. And I think once he got in there, he saw how much power and clout Kyrie had and how maybe KD didn't come to the table, which is why I think he wanted to check out of that situation, because he didn't think everybody was actually being accountable the same way. But then he gets here to Philly, doesn't play well towards the end of the season. He's injured. We expect him to be something different. Will he ever come back to being the same? But now we're seeing him turn down money to a degree to get PJ Tucker. He's working out. I truly do believe this is going to be the year that we're going to start talking about James Harden a little bit differently about how he is becoming one of the leaders of this team. And it starts with him turning down the option to opt into his deal.
Well, I think in any case, when you're a star athlete and you're looking and striving to be the best and win championships, and you have an opportunity to make your team better, you're going to figure out how to make it right from a money standpoint. I never was once worried about whether or not he was going to opt in or opt out. He was getting his money regardless. Now, whether that's a long-term deal or whether it's a short-term deal with a bunch of money in the first couple years of the deal, then he could figure out how to extend it later on. The money issue is never going to be a problem for guys like this, because at $47.3 million, he's not all of a sudden cutting that in half, okay? He's not going to do that. He's not a damn fool. Now, in the end, if he takes $38 million, well, okay, so is his lifestyle going to change? No, not at all. But what changes is the perception of what he is and what he's all about. That will change 100% for sure, because he's trying to put players around him to help him win the ultimate goal, which is a championship. That's the only thing James Harden is missing. He's made a ton of money on and off the court, and he's only missing a championship. And when you get to this stage in your career, money is not that big of a deal. Now, look, in the end, $38 million is still a whole hell of a lot of money. No question about it. But you're not scratching and clawing for every single penny, so to speak.
It is also going to be not just James Harden pursuing a championship, but so Joel Embiid. And in the past, he has had teammates who have let him down. I mean, Ben Simmons obviously being that one from the playoffs 2 years ago. So, you know, now you look at James Harden like, are you going to be a guy that we get it done with, and making a move like this that allows them to bring in more talent and make them maybe more of a championship caliber roster? That goes a long way in maybe saving Joel Embiid from becoming another Patrick Ewing. All right, so 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776, of course, is the number for you to be part of the conversation. And coming up, from the franchise that brought you the Dream Team, we now have an all-star